Hello everyone, welcome back to Beneath the Kotatsu. My name is On, and next to me is my co-host James.
Hey everyone.
And on the 40th episode of of our
That's
podcast,
a big number.
yeah, James, what anime did you choose for us to watch?
Super short and confusing one, Kyousougiga. I put this one on the back burner a really long time ago because I saw the OVA a really long time ago. I didn't realize there was a series for it. I was like, oh man, they made a series? I remember this being a really cool episode that I saw.
And
It's nice, but it's confusing a little bit.
how many episodes is the OVA?
What is it, like 6 or something like that? 4? I just watched the main series. I only saw the first episode of the OVA when it came out originally on its own.
So for this anime, Kyousougiga,
Yeah.
what did I watch? So
Did you watch the OVA or the actual series?
I watched the actual series.
Okay. Did you do what I did and watch the episode 0, which was a re-airing of the first episode of the OVA? Because that threw me off hardcore. That like ruined my experience for half of the show. Yeah, because they have it up on Crunchyroll.
I don't think it. Oh, you mean the recap?
That's the 10.5, the very last one. They like do a review with the voice actors. I'm taking
so that's a recap.
0.
That's a recap episode, right?
That's the original video of animation, the original airing of it. They re-aired it.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I never watched it.
It was on Crunchyroll.
When I finished Evangelion, I thought that was a hella confusing anime, right?
Yeah.
When I finished this anime, I still didn't have. I swear to God, like,
yeah,
straight,
that should be good.
I don't want to lie to you, okay? I don't want to lie to you. I want to straight up just say this is like the worst anime I've ever watched all the way through.
In terms of storytelling?
In terms of storytelling. Like, art, fantastic. It was amazing art. But
yeah,
I'm not...
and music.
But art is one thing, you know? like it reminds me of that meme where, like, remember the meme where the janitor sets up, like, his trash bucket at, like, an art museum? And you have all these, like, snobby people looking at the trash bucket, be like, interesting.
Or somebody that like randomly places a white poster card as it's entering for a new piece of exhibit. Yeah. I can see that. I think for this show though, you need to like put all the spirits and fancy drawn stuff on the back burner, because more than anything I feel like it was they used that as a vehicle for a show about, a family story.
I somewhat get the plot points of this anime, but holy shit, was it confusing as fuck.
It's definitely one of those shows that you have to rewatch stuff, because on the revelations at the end of the show, you go back and watch the first 2 episodes. I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, now I understand that more. I can see why I was confused.
But okay, here's the thing about this anime.
Right.
If it was airing this season, right?
Yeah.
I would have immediately dropped it on the first episode. I would never kept watching it.
Yeah, I would never watch this past 2 episodes. I would have been like, what the hell's going on?
Like 3, like usually I'd give like an anime like 3. Like if it's good, if it starts out good, or just like subpar, I give it like at least 3 episodes. Even 3 episodes in, I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Until episode 6 in that arc with each sibling had their own episode.
But here's the thing. This episode is 10 episodes long, right? Could you legit tell someone you won't get anything about this anime until you're 60% through?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's gonna be. There's no other way to say it for this one.
Yeah, like even Tatami Galaxy, that was a somewhat confusing anime, but I could follow the story. It was an easily digestible story.
Yeah.
This one, like, not only were like the cuts all over the place, that was confusing. They even had 2 characters with the same name. They even made it more confusing. I'm like, guys, who's watching this and who's rating it such a high score? They only explained
that on episode 6.
Like, because they're like,
definitely one of those shows that you have to watch and when the batch is already out, when the whole thing's out. I don't think you would enjoy it if it were weekly. I'm sure some people did, but I definitely wouldn't have.
I'm looking at this anime. Why does it have a 7.75 score? This
It's a nice story, dude. It's heartwarming.
is it?
Yeah, towards the end, it's like once I stopped worrying about the rebirth and the hammer Aratama, why it's breaking stuff and destroying stuff, and just enjoyed the interactions with the characters, then felt like it was a much enjoyable story, much more enjoyable.
I felt like it could have been told better. Or
I know what you're saying, the double Mioe thing, double Koto thing. I was like, oh, what's going on? They only revealed that in episode 6 that
because
Mioe,
they're parallel, because they're separate.
Yeah, because he
universes.
gave him his DNA.
Right.
So
God,
the original Mioe is a god, and he was like...
Before we actually go into like specifics, can you actually give a summary of this what this anime is about?
It's like a mythological thing, right? You have these 2 brothers, though it's like it's hard to summarize it because you would be spoiling it, but with that skipping like a lot of the who's who and what's what.
I swear to God, you could summarize this anime and spoil it, and people will still not get what's going on.
All right. So this girl named Koto goes to this city called the Looking Glass City, which is a created city by a guy named Mioe, who went there with his family. And she basically breaks into it with a special hammer that she has that is able to destroy stuff in a city where nothing can be destroyed. Like, they even show a guy with getting shot in the forehead with an arrow and coming back to life immediately. Yeah. Which I thought was hilarious. Like, what the hell is going on with that? Really, they're just trying to find the mother and the father. That's it. She's trying to get with her family.
Right. Okay, so
that's like the bare bones.
Even just saying that, that's not a very convincing story plot to sell. Like, I will straight up, I will never recommend this anime to anybody. I'm like, I can't lie to you. There's a billion other animes I could recommend besides this one. I
still enjoy it, but you have to watch it more than once to get stuff, or have somebody explain it to you. And also, it's good to watch like the 0.5s.
If you that's not a selling point for an anime. Like,
it's how some people watch
you
stuff.
have to, like, could you imagine like saying like, I know this anime, it's 10 episodes long, but the thing is, it's actually 20 episodes because you have to watch it twice. That's
one of those shows that you definitely have to talk to people about, right? Like, it's not like Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead, where each episode has its own like its own show after discussing what happened. This one's more like every couple of episodes get together with the lads and make your bootleg theories on what do you think was the rabbit or the gorilla or character just standing there in the background. I was like,
yeah. Like, here's the thing. For anime,
right.
When I try to sell someone an anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like the person that's trying to sell you on how good an anime is. I want to sell you on trying to watch the first episode and having the anime sell itself to you. Like,
they sold it based on the OVA, and then they went back and made this show. People liked it enough to where they made a show, so it's insane enough. Like, because I think primarily they just did it for the sake of art, because the original OVA didn't really have a story at all. It's the same thing, but less content.
I just don't. I mean, okay. I mean, if we just took story out of it, it had very beautiful art, and the voice actors. Oh man, the main character's voice actor, fantastic. I think she's in so many of my favorite animes,
dude. Like, what was the show with the main character called Ryuji? And they had that girl as like the sidekick or something. It might have been Toradora. Or it might have been the My Teen Comedy rom-com show.
Like, she has like the most, what do you call it?
Iconic voice.
Yeah, she has like a super iconic voice. Like, I picked her out immediately, and I was like, she's in so many of
dude,
my favorite
so
animes.
Much stuff.
Yeah, and usually when I'm watching like an anime, I don't have, like, I can't really pick out voices. But hers is so distinctive that I'm like,
oh yeah, of course it is.
Where have I heard this before?
It's like Gendo.
Gendo?
Gendo's voice, you heard it. in a lot of stuff, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is my boy Gendo," or Frieza's voice. Like that's unmistakably Frieza.
I don't think I've ever heard. Are you talking about an American Frieza or Japanese Frieza?
Japanese.
I've never watched Dragon Ball in Japanese, so I probably could point them out, but like besides voice acting and the art, that's pretty much all I can really say about this anime. Like, were there any like major plot points you wanted to talk about with this anime?
Well, I wanted to talk about who your favorite character was of the three siblings.
I'd probably just say Koto, just because of the voice acting.
I can like, understand that. For me, it was the demon girl. That was like the whole setup she had with the house. And remember the episode with the train station where it was like trash day because nothing ever gets destroyed in the house, so they had to put it on the train and send it away. And the little D was like, "Oh, what the hell is this little? It's flying away," and he does it to everything in the house, even the precious memories.
I felt like that episode was like, what do you call it? Like
what?
Like a way to show like you're just to give up everything. Like you know when
I didn't put too much thought into it. I was just laughing at the little dude clapping whatever he was, not out of malice or anything like that. He was just doing it because he's like basically a little creature, little baby kid, and just being, when you like jingle the keys in front of a baby and they get all excited. That was that type of reaction, but causing problems for everyone else, and by giving up all those items that they treasured. It was hilarious to me. It's like, how can you be mad at that little dude? And they weren't, which is okay. A little bit.
Like, I was trying to find some deep meaning in like each episode.
Oh, you know what else I also like?
What?
It was the episode where it was following the happy life of the science team and the Buddha guy.
Oh,
the dude that's been running the city with his siblings.
I thought you were talking about the episode. I think it was like episode 8 or 7 when they're having like that the sibling rivalry battle
where they were fishing. Yeah, so they basically colluded the big giant demon lady and the Buddha guy, the monk. I don't remember what his name was. It Kurama, right? Like the Naruto nine-tailed fox character.
Yeah.
Never not think that whenever I see that name or hear it. But yeah, they went fishing because they were trying to figure out a way to get their mom back, to break the gate with that hammer Aratama. And they also noticed that it had that little bunny on it in the previous episode, so it was like, oh hey, it's connected to their mom.
The one episode that really threw me off is when they introduced Shoko, the scientist lady. What does she have to do with the episode?
She was just a character. Are you talking about the one that Koto put her face in motorboated?
The scientist girl.
The robot controller? There's a lot of scientists.
The main one.
Just
the
an
main
extra character. Girl. There's no real meaning in hers.
But why did she get a whole episode by herself? That makes no sense.
I don't know, but I did enjoy that old school robot fight.
I mean, yeah, it was cool. Fun. But that's the thing. I'm like, why did this side character get a whole episode? It's definitely one of those things
you just... Like, because remember, the original show is like all looks, and I would imagine that they had to tie in, like, well, let's make some more story for this. How do we, make a story on this cool looking show? Because it definitely felt like they made the show before they made the story. You know what I mean?
It felt like they got 10 episodes, and like they got the budget for 10 episodes, but the writers only had enough ideas for like 6 or between 4 and 6 episodes. They're like, so we need to fill these 4 episodes because we have the budget for it, and we need to extend this. That's how I felt like what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But
did you ever get why there was 2 Mioas?
What was the other Mioe?
So remember in episode 6, they had that whole episode of his backstory where he's a little kid, Yakushimaru, and he sees his parents die, and then the original Mioe comes and saves him. Yeah, because he was sad, dude. And then he, jabs himself in the gut with a little shiv.
Well, you
And
said
he's like,
Puku's, right?
nah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make you my kid. I don't know why he did that, but I guess he wanted a family to
Wait, so
expand upon it.
he adopted himself? Is that what you're
Remember
saying?
he said Puku's. But they distinctly remember he had was it a passion fruit or something like that? You know, one of those fruits with all the little seeds that sting.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
the
yeah.
white stuff like crazy if you're not too careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cut it in half, and I guess that was his soul. Because he also grabbed his DNA and passed it on to him, like merged it with him. So they were both Mioa still. I don't know how he got to look like how he did in like the first 2 episodes and near the end when he was with the fox getup. I don't think it's ever explained, but you know, it's whatever. And I can understand like why Mioa Jr., I guess, was the way he was, because the original one was just kind of out of the loop all the time and not really knowing how to be. Do you know what I mean? Because he was basically just following his brother. Because at the end, it explains like there's 3 gods, right? The dad and the 2 kids.
Yeah.
And the dad is said that he just passed on his duties to the 2 kids and disappeared, and they just started working for ages and ages. But Mioa was like kind of, you know, listless and like, I don't know what to do.
He's just on his own,
brother's
basically.
lead.
Yeah.
And that's the whole shrine thing. The shrine is the brother's organization, and Mioa works under him after, you know, screwing around, and they found his world. He's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble now. So he's just, all right, I'll just stick around and let you lead me around. He doesn't really want to, I guess, accept responsibilities for himself. And imagine how Yakushimaru would have felt like. That dude was stuck, like, because remember in episode 3,
you lost me like halfway through that explanation.
So I was just trying to say like how they're alike, because he's like all depressed and stuff when his parents died, right? And on top of that, he has part of Mioa's DNA in him. And he's in the Looking Glass City for centuries. They said specifically the line he said to Koto that nobody's been here for centuries without a guardian. And she's like, oh, I'm looking for my guardian here. I don't know what the guardian is. So it's whatever. I guess it's senpai. And by the way, she did say, for whatever reason, she was calling her dad senpai, which is another thing that confused me. I was like, why is she doing that?
This anime is just a big ball of confusion, because honestly,
you just have to go back and digest it.
I will never, I'm never... once I finish that 10 episodes, I made a vow to myself that I'm never coming back to this anime, because it's not worth it to try to throw myself into a ball of confusion, because it makes no sense.
It was worth it for me. Like, once I understood what was happening, I enjoyed it. Once
you got through 6 episodes of confusion, you enjoyed it.
No, 12, because I rewatched episode 1 and 2 after they finished it.
That's the thing. I don't want to tell people I have to go back and rewatch an anime. An anime should be good,
but it's like
its own, on the first run.
You know those video games where you have to beat it over and over again? Like the original Nier was like that. You had to beat it multiple times in order to get the real story, the real ending.
Yeah, but that's like something you're physical with, and you can connect with the characters. And even when you beat it the first time with Nier,
these characters.
Even with first time with Nier, you still got an understandable story. You didn't get the whole story, but you got an understandable story.
Did you play the original one on PlayStation? I'm talking about the OG one, the one with the old dude and Kaina. I'm not talking about the one with 2B.
Oh no, I've never played. I only played the one with 2B.
I didn't play the one with 2B, even though having it on my PC and owning it.
But that's the only reference I can get with like Nier with the one with 2B. And like I beat it the first time. It had an understandable story, and I got everything. And I totally get it if you play New Game Plus or whatever, and you get like an additional story. But with anime, that's totally different, because you're watching the same things, the same content over. Yes, even if you finish it the first time, you should be able to at least get like a majority of the story.
They explained it at the end. Like they explained everything, because they throw you into like what the hell's going on. They slowly feed you until.
I mean, you can tell me they explained at the end, but I still didn't get a majority of it, because it was all over the place.
Yeah,
because they were trying to sell me some like Evangelion.
You felt that vibe too, right? I was like, I should avoid saying Evangelion in the podcast. I feel like I compare a lot of the stuff, but I mean I do that because I like that show.
No, it went hard on like the Evangelion, like
the end of the world, which I enjoy that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get
all I can think about
witness,
is all I can think about is that the alien meme guy, except aliens, parallel universes.
Which are just places created by them.
Wait,
Because they're all gods,
right? How many parallel universes? 12 plus 1, right? 13?
12. The 13 was, like, not supposed to exist. Yeah.
Made it after a whim or something like that.
Mio is the one that made it, but he fucked up doing it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I feel bad for the listeners because I didn't understand this anime, trying to explain this anime.
It's okay, dude. Like, we, like, watched it in a week, and it's definitely one of those shows that gets sit there for hours and talk to other people about our forums.
Like this anime is only 10 episodes long, so it's not even that long. At most, like each episode 20 minutes long, right? If you cut out opening, ending.
I mean, they were beefy episodes. They were like 27 minutes long.
Were they?
Yeah, they were extra long. Dude, it was a chore to watch those first episodes, to be honest with you.
No wonder it felt longer than usual.
Hard to watch. Yeah.
But still, it's only 10 episodes. 11, I guess, technically, if you add in like the extra couple minutes from each episode, right? But like, even if I enjoyed it, like, just art wise, I just can't sell this anime to anyone because, like if you close your eyes and like in the next, let's say, 6 months, right? Like, can you remember any of this anime in 6 months?
Yeah. For now that I invested time in it, yeah, I will be.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. In 6 months, though, in 6 months, are you gonna remember?
Yes, I remember the OVA clear as day.
There's just like if an anime doesn't make like a huge impact on me, it's gonna get wiped from my memory in the next couple months.
That's fine, because not everything's made for you. You know what I mean? You're not gonna enjoy everything. It's not gonna mesh with you, even though like. A lot of people are like, oh my god, The Godfather's a masterpiece. I've never seen a single freaking episode. I have no desire to watch it, nor do I have any desire to watch Scarface for that matter. I watched like 30 minutes, like, I don't care about this stuff.
But, like, the thing with anime is that if an anime doesn't resonate with, like, it might resonate with you, right? And you're able to sell
with
it.
The person.
But if it doesn't resonate with me, how am I supposed to sell an anime with me?
But it's still hella confusing. Let me... I enjoyed learning about what was going on, what's this character, what's that character. Like finding out in episode 3 where Mio is chilling with his girlfriend for the first time. If you remember in the end, like the original god that is portrayed with that little weird drawing is the hamster, the toad, and I think was it a monkey? He was chilling there watching. Was it a monkey? Mio. It doesn't matter. It was 3 animals.
Like even hear you like hear you describe like scenes and parts from this anime, like it just doesn't make sense at all, right? Because just like how many times they cut in the anime, I'm just trying to follow like cut, like especially in the first 3 episodes, they do a bunch of these weird cuts from one person's perspective to another person's perspective. I'm like, where did I just go? Why did it stop?
Oh, for example, like in the end of the show where I think it was original Mio and Koto were on the moon, and then all of a sudden Koto Jr. pops out of nowhere, with their hammer destroying stuff, and then they cut back to Mio Jr. and Koto Jr. just like, all right, let's fix all of this.
Oh, and then they go back in time, right? Or they didn't go back. They didn't go back time. It was more.
It was the flow of the show. The storyboard planning. Yeah, but what threw me off more than anything, just watching the OVA, because I thought that was supposed to be part of the story. It's really not.
It's
really not supposed to be part of the story.
It's labeled as a recap,
re-airing of the original OVA.
Oh,
that's what it is. It's not part of the story, which is what fucked me up when I couldn't understand the show for half of it. I made a mistake watching that. But Crunchyroll has it listed, so why the hell do they have it if it's gonna mess you up like that? Well, I don't like it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Usually, if an anime has like a
episode 0, it's part of it, right?
Yeah, like it's part of it, and it makes sense, right? And it flows into the next season, I guess, and it should make sense.
Exactly.
But for this, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, for
me, I understood until like I was like, oh, okay, this isn't part of the story.
But you're just saying like the OVA didn't make any sense while you're going into the original or the actual show. That's what I'm saying. Is that
it
like a pre?
Me because I thought it was part of it.
Yeah,
no, it's
like
not a pre.
A prequel.
It's not part of it. It's the original.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like a prequel or like an OVA should follow into...
It's its own thing.
Which makes no sense.
It should follow it, but it doesn't. It's just like to show you, oh, hey, like this is the original one. This is what the original Simpsons looked before they redrew them to the new art style.
And it doesn't help. It doesn't help that they have the same name, right? Like
that definitely was confusing, but once I figured out that he got fused with the DNA, I was like, oh, okay. But again, that's episode 6 where they tell you.
No. I'm talking about how the OVA and the actual show have the same name.
Right, but the same person made it, and then later they decided to adapt it. So it's the same
but they should give it a different name.
Actual story.
Like
it doesn't need it.
They did that to what's that? What's that paper anime? I forgot what it was. The origami one. Oh. I forgot. Let me. Just,
I don't know.
Reader Die. Reader Die. So Reader Die did the same thing, kind of like Kyousougiga, where it had like a pre and a movie and a TV adaptation.
Yeah, but they're separate things, right?
Nope. They are
related.
They kind of follow like a pre-story almost, and then the TV kind of is like a split off. They have the same name, except for the TV. They call it Read or Die TV. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
You know how I view it? I view it as a pilot to the show. And then they got greenlit, and then they made the show.
But even a pilot...
you don't show the pilot beforehand as in episode 0. And without saying anything at the start. I mean, I guess
usually a pilot is part of the main show. Usually the pilot is like episode 1 or 2, like it melds into it, and then after it gets greenlit, it gets more episodes added on to it.
No, for a pilot's like it depends on the show, but a lot of the times you'll have the pilot and they'll recast stuff, change stuff around depending on what the network wants. But once again,
I think there might be another
American television.
I guess there's multiple versions of what a pilot.
There's no no one way to how to do stuff,
Yeah,
and
I know.
They just decided to stick with the same thing.
I know.
Make it long.
Like Bob's Burger had a pilot episode where the like characters were like different genders, and then after the pilot and it got greenlit, they swapped genders around.
Yeah.
So and then I guess it's different for cartoons versus like actual shows. Because for actual shows,
you know what it's also like.
What?
Sorry to interrupt you. It's when you have Madoka Magica or I guess what was the Yuki Yuna show, and then they made the movie, which is exactly the same thing as the show.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
That makes sense.
OVA to anime show.
Yeah, that makes sense. That usually a movie is just pumping money into it just to get a movie out, and you get like better effects and stuff like that, right? Basically, it's a like a plus Blu-ray. Soup. Yeah, a plus Blu-ray adaptation or whatever. But
speaking of Blu-ray,
yeah,
didn't you mention how the resolution was only 720p? I was like, that's a Wii Animation logo. I know it's gonna be lower resolution because like One Piece is like that. But apparently, because you gotta be interested. Why is it low resolution? It's because they mastered it in 720p. Or a lot of the shows like original Attack on Titan, apparently, this is what I read, had a weird resolution like 864, somewhere in the 800s. Like it's not made in 1080p. Even these days, like you'll still have only certain like high-end places like KyoAni maybe will do like 900p, some weird thing.
Well,
I'm sure they're eventually going to get higher.
It probably goes by paper size, right? I think that's how I would do resolution.
Maybe that would make sense.
But everything now is going digital, so I guess it's easier to go to 1080p.
Yeah, it feels that way.
I feel like it's only going to be a couple years until we actually see some 4K anime. Like I could
gonna be glorious.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because keep in mind the higher resolution you go, the more like not everything should go higher resolution, because like the lower resolution.
Or you one of those like 30 FPS is the golden standard. But I can agree with you. Like 60 FPS anime looks weird to me sometimes.
Like if I could put it into like real no, not FPS resolution, not frames per second. I'm talking about like
no, I know, but I'm talking about different things in like animation, like the quality of it or FPS stuff like that. Because if I were to watch Transformers on an old crappy TV, like the CG, like the Michael Bay movies, it looks good on a crappier TV. But then when I watch it on a high end TV, it's like, why does this movie look like garbage on this amazing television? It's because it wasn't meant for it, I guess.
It's because some televisions have interpolation, and
yeah,
I hate it. I hate when, like, you know, you're watching like a YouTube video, and people are like, oh, watch this anime in 60 FPS, and they basically put it into like interpolation program, and it's, you know, and then the program basically builds frames. It doesn't upscale, it builds frames in between certain frames to make it look like it's 60 frames per second. I don't want that. Yeah, like if there was an anime that was shot in 60 frames per second, that would be a lot of labor. Like that is, that's basically 3 movies that they're making if they're gonna make one with 60 frames. And most cinemas don't even support 60 frames. You know, so basically you're only asking like to push it out in Blu-ray, and that's the only thing you can really do. But for what I'm talking about is, I feel like a sweet spot right now is 1080p. And the thing is that
I enjoy it that way.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the thing about going 4K is, I like a good example of this is that, like, when you take a photo of somebody, right, and it's in low resolution, they look good, but the more you enhance it, the higher pixel rate you have, you'll actually start seeing pores. You'll start seeing like certain facial marks like that they have that lower resolution it covers up. Like, do you understand what I'm kind of saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
masking the pig.
when you start blowing up when you start blowing up animation to like 8K, you can actually start seeing like pen lines of like individual.
I don't know.
Like,
I might enjoy that. I want to see how it would look.
I mean, it would look cool stylishly. It would look cool, right?
Yeah.
But
I bet there's gonna be like a move towards having that style in there, like having the imperfections, stuff like that. Probably not. I mean, maybe some works.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Be like some cowboy that wants to do a experimental art style, which is always good to have.
Like, can you imagine like 100, 200 years from now, they'll be shot in like 16K, right?
Dude, hologram anime. Are you kidding
me? Could you imagine in 16K you're watching anime, right? And it's so high resolution, you can actually tell an artist using one pen to another artist's different pen, because each pen makes different, like if you take a pen and you draw a line on a piece of paper and you get it really close to your eyes, each one will make certain different bumps on a piece of paper. Like each one will have its own
different pressure points.
Yeah, different pressure. That's what I'm saying. Like, could you imagine that in 16K just up in your face with anime? That'd be a little ridiculous.
I mean, for a special feature, it'd be nice. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
not like they wouldn't do like 3D stuff. It'll look a little bit weird next to the 3D portions of the show.
Oh no, it'll only get a lot worse for 3D if it's not done very well. The high res, that's what I'm saying. 1080 sweet spot right now. 4K, the only reason you're gonna see 4K, but if they upscale it, after the fact,
movie.
After they've not even movie. I think you gotta upscale it even so. Like even if when you're watching an anime in theater, right? It's basically just 1080, but it's not upscaled, but it's just like that's what a projector does. It upscales because it light particles or whatever. Like it just blows it up. It looks fine in a movie theater, but when you're watching it at home, I don't know. It's gonna be iffy. It's gonna be iffy. I just tell you that. Yeah. Oh, we went on a hella long tangent.
I mean, it was interesting to me. So I mean, I enjoy that stuff. Just learning about stuff.
This is the only thing I can talk about besides Kyousougiga, because Kyousougiga made no sense to me and I have nothing to say about it.
It's eye candy. Just like I as I said, I started enjoying it when I through trying to figure out what type of god they are, what's the Buddha's whole role in this, But
look, you can examine it all day. You can examine it all day, but at the end of the day, I'm not recommending this anime to anybody.
Like, yeah, legit. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me at most.
Wait, so you're gonna give this 7 out of 10?
Yeah, it's a good experience for me. I enjoyed it. I mean, 6.5. Because it was a chore to watch at first. I bet I would have enjoyed it more without the OVA at the start. That's what I'm gonna say.
If I was gonna give this
inconclusive out of 10,
a score,
what are you gonna say? 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards like 2 or 3. I can't say 2 because the art was really good and the music was pretty good too. I really enjoyed the music.
Loved it.
They had great music.
All that church feeling.
I'll just give it like a 3.5. Let's say 3.5 out of 10 because I didn't really enjoy it, but it was nice to watch. Like physically, it was nice to watch. Like art wise, it was nice. Story wise, didn't make any sense to me, and I don't want to go back and rewatch it because I didn't. I didn't enjoy it the first time, and I'm not gonna enjoy it the second time if I have to go back and watch it.
Depends on the person. If you like movies like Summer Wars and stuff with crazy art styles like that, you like
Tatami Galaxy. Like if you're into Tatami Galaxy, if you're into the Monogatari series, you might like this. Like this is probably where it shines if you're probably like into Monogatari. And you want to watch something like
Monogatari if you'd like it.
That. Like I watched Monogatari and I still enjoyed Monogatari, but this anime I didn't like. So this is like the one anime that's legit gonna be a hit or miss for most people. Like either you're gonna
I didn't enjoy Monogatari too much.
Really?
I'd have to rewatch it now to see if I enjoy it or not.
I mean, it's because it's a lot of dialogue, right? It's just all dialogue. Like there's no other anime. Yeah. Probably like the only other anime that comes close with as much dialogue is probably Death Note, because there's a lot of monologues in Death Note. You don't think so?
Was the Legend of the Galactic Heroes or something like that? It's like a 80 episode, space story about war and peace. It's
but was it like
from
a
the
bunch
80s,
of talking?
late 80s, early 90s?
I don't think I've
was a lot of exposition. Yeah, it's an old show, dude. It's very old. I think they redid it. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but it's definitely a legendary show. I need to watch it one day.
Well, we'll put something on our list. Maybe we'll go back and watch maybe like an 80s anime. That'd be kind of nice to watch, huh?
Oh yeah, dude, it would be.
Yeah. All right. We're dragging this episode on way too long about an anime I can only talk about for legit 2 minutes. Anything final you want to say about Kyousougiga?
Different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's pretty much it for our 40th episode. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.